Now that Riot Games allows you to build both Muramana and Archangel stuff together, hybrid champions like Ezreal are literally back to the point where the hybrid build makes actually the most sense, especially with the addition of Actualizer that increases your ability damage by 26%, which is just insane on Ezreal, but check this out, Ryze is even more broken with this. Yep, you see it correctly. I have 10k AP on Ryze, which means Actualizer gives you 60% increased ability damage, shielding, and healing. And notably, just for fun, your basic ability cooldowns progress 30% faster. Just for fun, it's there. Now, what's also really cool about having this much amount of basically mana is that you get over 200 AP from Seraphs, almost 2k shielding. Notably, from the fucking Film Moon Winter, you also get again almost 2k HP. You get a gigantic shield if there are two people nearby each other, because if you manage to immobilize, the shield gonna be also super OP. And what I really want to point out is that once you use this item and you all in someone, they are 100% cooked. They are 100% cooked. Now you could exchange some of the items for, you know, void stuff, magic pen, whatever, boots, and it's still gonna be broken. So make sure to utilize this build as efficiently as possible. Zahen, another broken champion, not only for one reason, but for multiple reasons, if I may say that. So the thing is, with the Endless Hunger, you can get 91 ability haste, tenacity, 20 omnivamp in total if you get the feast passive one, and this item is just almost like it was made for Zahen actually, or Zahen like champions such as Aatrox and Olaf that also get AD from their kit. But this is such a OP item, but this is not the only thing, guys. Notably, because you can reach level 20 now on top lane, your passive will give you 3.0 increased attack damage per stack, the same way as Conqueror, because you're gonna go beyond level 18. This scales also with levels. This is gonna give you 2.6 attack damage per stack, which means that from both from your passive and from obviously Conqueror, you're gonna get more AD value. Trinity Force, it doesn't have an AD scaling, but it works with your base damage, which does go up with levels even beyond 18. Now, notably, Overlord, general, you know, AD synergy with the champion, you also get AD and HP per level. Sundered Sky, generally fine, same as Muramana. Sundered Sky is slightly buffed in terms of damage, although the cooldown gonna be a little bit longer, so that's that. And there are obviously different build iterations and whatnot. On a practical level, also Endless Hunger gonna give you 50 plus ability haste, depends on how much AD do you have currently. But Zahen, for multiple reasons, is gonna be way stronger than in the previous patch. Now let's jump to another champion. Another champion that's really good at utilizing Endless Hunger, you can get 42 plus ability haste, and the attack damage is fine. Omnivamp is not the best, but if you get the feast passive, then obviously you're gonna get 20 omnivamp, so that's gonna be useful for your ease. 20 tenacity, it's not the most useful stat on Olaf, but sometimes it will help so your aura is not forced out in inconvenient situations. Now, from the other hand, why would the cooldown even help on Olaf? So, one of the things that's are notable about Olaf is that his E got buffed in the past, so the cast time is also faster, and making it a spammy ability into more durable champs, that's just gonna be really good. And your Q is also super spammy, so you can legit very easily, if you make some distance, to pick it up. So it doesn't matter the distance where you're queuing from, you get to regardless perma slow if you hit these queues, to the point where no one can really run away. And I think this is just an insane DPS item that's really good for 1v9 purposes. Another really broken Endless Hunger user, you're gonna get this item only in the very late game though, so it does provide some solid stats. The main thing is 84 ability haste. Now I know it's impractical usually to get cooldown items on Jhin, it's true, but Endless Hunger gives you 84 cooldown, which does justify it in the late game. And why would you go for it over anything else, any other alternatives and whatnot? So cooldown is actually useful on Jhin if it lowers your cooldowns by a shit ton. And how does that interact? How does that work? So your in-between cast of your ease will be actually lowered to 1.9. So if I were to do a quick combo, I can set up another trap. Now that doesn't really particularly help unless someone chain CCs the target again, but it could be useful in some way. Now the other cool little thing is your Q. You get to use your Q very quickly in between fights. For example, if you were to basic Q basic. If you wait a little bit and you Q again, if you need to, then you can get 2 Qs off before your 4th shot, but you could reverse order, it depends on your situation. And this AoE does matter a lot, because this does 826 damage, which means that this again, for that short cooldown, does a decent DPS in fights. W. Now, why would your W be useful? So, a fight breaks out and we are fighting. Now, they're trying to disengage, but this roots for 2.22 seconds, right? And it comes up very shortly after. Someone's trying to escape, they walk away. Your W comes up in no time, you're gonna W again. So this is like really good both for chasing and escaping. And there will be a new, your R does get value, it can be useful with cooldown, but there will be a new method that Jhin players will use in the late game, either on Elder, Baron or whatnot. If they are dominating the game, they will stack their E's on objective, and there will be like something that people will call out. Jhin has endless hunger, guys. He will stack his E on Baron. He will try to one-shot it, or get it with his team. And that will be technically possible because now it has like a 7 rechargeable cooldown. So now, not only that he can, terrorize the Rift with as many traps as possible. This only costs you 30 mana, by the way, so too many mana issues you will not have. He will be also able to actually wipe off objectives in no time, or just stack some traps under yourself before skirmish. Let's say your team got consistent CC like Mazar, you stack your traps, 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, how much you want. Mazar R's them once they walk into the trap and they're fucked, because like they do a lot of damage as well. Now that's it for now about Jhin. Katarina, another huge winner, but Gunblade interacts in a weird way now with your R, so it does cancel your R if you actually use Gunblade. So use it cautiously because it cancels it. So you gotta use the item first once you jump in, do your whole combo, and then R, because if you reverse order it, it's gonna cancel it. And this item is just great for damage purposes, for the slow, so people are less likely to walk out of your R to the point where you get to easily connect another E. And Jude, overall, she also got a new item, Dusk and Dawn, which is only practical with Nashor, so otherwise you should get Lich Bane or Shadow Flame. But practically, if you could get like both in a game, it's better if you combine them. If you don't combine them, it's not worth to even consider this item. Let's jump to the next winner. Another huge winner, Haste Gunblade does actually help Akali a lot to connect her E, and notably connect better basic attacks. But what I really want to point out is that this champion also does have mixed AD and AP scalings. That's like another reason like why this item is like really good on her. But also, what's like really cool, if you were ever to commit, you can use your Hextech Gunblade slow to connect your E more easily, or how you can use your Gunblade as well. If you were to Q and you get your this bugged actually, what the fuck? You can connect more easily your passive if people try to disengage. So overall, useful item, works same as before. I don't have to over explain it.